I am the queen of accidental dates. I am that person who will go and hang out with someone not realizing that they're interested in me romantically, and so I end up a lot of accidental dates. From my perspective, they're not actually dates because I wasn't aware that they were dates, but I can see the argument as to why I should have assumed they were dates, but nevertheless, it's always funny. Long story short, I ended up going on another accidental date, and just to preface, the two people I've dated prior to this person were awful. The intention going into this date was I just did not want to have another story time when it comes to dating anymore. I really did not want to sit here and discuss with my friends as their jaw continues to drop and drop again after I continue to share the details of how I was treated through the date. So the goal was to have an okay date, and luckily for me, that's exactly what happened. But after the date, I went home and realized I don't think I'm ready for a relationship, which is not typically where my head is at. And so I think I've been burying this realization for a significant amount of time because I do see myself as someone who's interested in love and welcoming to love. It was very difficult to come to the conclusion that I'm not at that place anymore. I'm a big fan of lover girls all over the internet, and it really sucks that at this point in time, I don't feel comfortable associating as a lover girl. I am just a girl. This isn't to say that I went on a bad date. It was actually really good, but I wasn't interested in seeing that person ever again. And it pains me to know that for me, he was a learning curve, but I'm so grateful that he had patience with me and really understood where I was coming from. And I just appreciate his openness to love and his ability to accept rejection very well. But after this date, I had to face something that I have been neglecting for a really long time. I assumed as much, but it was hard to come face to face with the truth that I am emotionally offline. I am emotionally unavailable. I am emotionally incapable of making a connection with someone else. And with this realization, I started to consider my relationships with my friends. It was very early on this year that I realized that it was going to be extraordinarily difficult for me to make friends. I think because that wall is up when it comes to making connections even platonically, I know that wall is even stronger when it comes to meeting connections romantically. And so it was really difficult because I consider myself to be someone who appreciates love, and I want to work towards being someone who loves love. So when I came to the realization that I might potentially just not be welcoming to love at all, it was heartbreaking because I feel like this is a major step back towards my desire to be a lover girl. I then just took a moment to pause and understand, like, where was I earlier this year compared to where I am now, and why is it that I feel like suddenly I am no longer emotionally I can't even say it. I am no longer emotionally online. And what I came to is that as a result of what I experienced this year, I think it was just time for me to fill my own bucket before it was time for me to start pouring into other people. And with this realization, I took a step back and I analyzed my relationships with my friends. I felt like I was so far removed from everyone, and I wasn't just emotionally unavailable romantically, I was emotionally offline with my friends. I was no longer checking in on people. I was no longer reaching out, and it was difficult because that's not the person who I want to be, but it's the person I needed to be. I really spent a lot of time this month considering my relationships and making sure that I am doing my best to be the best person to the people I love. And I don't think I did that at all this year, and I'm glad that I snapped back into myself to realize that and to contact all of my friends and make sure that we were in a good standing, even though they knew my circumstances and were aware that I was going to be pulling away more frequently. And I'm appreciative to have friends who are understanding and considerate to what I'm going through. And I'm so grateful to have the love of the people around me. And I know currently I'm not at a point to be giving my all at learning someone new, but it's still a hard realization to come to. But I don't think I'll be going on any more accidental dates anytime soon. My goal right now is to make sure that I am working on myself and making sure I feel safe in who I am and the people I surround myself with. And hopefully in the future, I'll be able to open myself more to love, and I'll be that lover girl that I've always dreamed of being.